the 2024 show. We've got some very, very important awards to hand out in a few moments' time. But before we reach that, I will just explain to you what is coming into the ring. And we've got a building major with this trailer on the back, and you've got two wood processing machines on it, which is going back to the 1930s and 1940s, and they're driven by the power highway flywheel on a tractor, and it just shows how much we've come forward to develop the what is wrong? Right, following on the vehicle major, it's probably one of the largest selling oil tractors in the current era of tractor production since 1950, and it's the little Massey Ferguson 45, and it's hard to believe that this little tractor was capable of doing all the jobs that some of the larger tractors are now doing, but it was very much a favourite. It was easy to drive, it had a lot of modern facilities on it, and it stayed the test of time, and if you ever see one sold at auction today, it makes far, far more than what it made when it was first released onto the agricultural scene. Well, standing adjacent to the tractor is the very impressive Ford Thames milk lorry, and believe it or not, many years ago all milk was produced on farm and then collected by these sort of lorries in milk churns, and those milk churns used to hold 10 gallons or the best part of 100 pounds, and they used to be handballed, as the term says, onto a lorry, and these lorries used to travel to the milk factory, and then it was decided upon what the day of the week was, because days of the week are very important to the distribution of milk, because as all of you know, milk needs to be kept fresh. Some would go by train to London to the liquid market, some would go into cheese making and product manufacture, but it was all fresh, and that was the criteria that I had to reach, because it didn't have so much refrigeration in those days, so therefore quick use was paramount. And standing next to the lorry is this very impressive Aston Martin, and this is a rare four-seater Aston Martin DB4. Aston Martin came very popular with the James Bond films, and anyone who was in those days fortunate enough to own one and who's kept it. It's very much a collector's item, ladies and gentlemen, not only here in the UK but abroad, especially America. So there's four very good examples of things that were used during the era that reflects modern production of farming and obviously modern transport needs, and this is where we find that although technology has overtaken all of this, everything goes back to these basics. Going from a predictable source of farm attachments to a little bit less predictable what important it is, and that is the livestock. You know, livestock on any farm is very much at the hub, especially the smaller farms, especially here on the island and in the south of England, where mostly the farms have an element of livestock. In the eastern counties maybe it's more arable, but livestock is very much of great interest to everybody because there's so many types of livestock on a farm. It all comes under the heading of cows, pigs and sheep, maybe goats, but each one has a particular attribute to the livestock of the breed or the flock. And leading in we see our champion sheep. These are the Dutch Spotted. Now the Dutch Spotted are a relatively new breed. It's a crossing breed between a Beltex and a Texel and the Swart Bull. Very much something which came out of Holland, but they've come over, and as you can see they've got absolutely superb carcasses. Holland you wouldn't think of as a sheep country, but it is. Then following on we've got the very first of our traditional Suffolks from Matt Legg, and the Suffolk breed has had a great impact on sheep keeping in the country. Very much a commercial breed, originally coming down from what was called the Norfolk breed, and now they're called the Suffolk, so obviously there was a bit of inter-county changing over. And then coming on behind there are two interesting breeds. That is the Jacobs, and the Jacobs very much a Shropshire-based originally breed, and a breed that is very much a dual purpose in the sense that it can graze any type of land you so-called wish to have. It's any type of land you wish to have. It's very much a secondary grazer. It can live off of the poorer pastures, which is very important because not all pastures are equal, and then you will find that I do try a little bit again without the accompaniment of a lot of squeaking and buzzing. We don't want to split the livestock, I think that's paramount. What I will say in general terms, ladies and gentlemen, I think we had the best show of sheep that we've had the opportunity and pleasure of presenting to you at this show ever. I think we had some 18 breeds of sheep being represented here today, right from the very commercials at one end to some of the very rarest of breeds in the country, and the enthusiasm within the sheep lines this year was very infectious, and I give a special thanks to all our sheep exhibitors this year for making it a very, very special show. But that's not taking anything away from the cattle, because they in their turn did a fantastic presentation. So only good for future years, we hope, with the sheep. But some of the special breeds we had was the Shropshire, the black Shropshire long wools, the Shropshire long wools, some of the very cuddly looking ones, the black Vallis Blackface, as you can pick them out. They're the ones with the very fluffy coats, walking around looking very proud and very prestigious. We've had Norfolks, we've had Hampshire Downs, and then from the two Dorset breeds, the Dorset Down and the Dorset Horn, and all the breeds. And if I've missed any, I apologise, but time is against me giving it all the details, but a really super show. And then we've got the animals, the big animals, the beef animals to start with, and our champion being, I believe, that's very much a very worthy winner. It's Limousin, and the Limousin breed is a very prolific breed, coming over from France originally, but now very much the mainstay of the beef industry. The reason why, ladies and gentlemen, it's very fast growing, it's very lean, and the carcasses on them are something that the supermarkets demand, and that is uniformity.
Welcome to you. No, don't switch it off. You're listening.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to welcome into the ring, and I call them VIPs because they are indeed VIPs. First of all, it's Susie Sheldon, who is the Lady Lord Lieutenant of the Isle of Wight, and Lord and Commander of West Wight, I believe. Is that what you call it? Absolutely, she tells me. And then we've got David Exwood, who has been recently appointed the Deputy of the NFU, the Deputy President of the NFU, which is the organisation that some of you would recognise, but it's the organisation that hopefully looks after and guides farmers. They talk to the government of the day, and just explains to them the importance of farming, food, livestock and cropping, etc. I think that's a good scenario. So let's start quickly, because we don't want to keep the animals out here in the heat any longer than we need. We go to the first of our presentations today, and it's in the sheep row, and it's the NUAW Challenge Cup, and it goes to Mr. Esreed and Mrs. J. Shotter. And what a show they had with these this particular breed. They, I wouldn't say smoked the board, but they did, and they're, as they say, a combination of some breeding that went on in Holland, and they very much are a meat breed rather than a wool breed, because as most of you know, sheep are dual purpose and they can produce good carcass meat and also very, very good wool for the weaving industry. But there are champions of the show. Right, we now go to the Trafalgar Cup, and the winner of this is Charlie House. Congratulations to Charlie. Little Charlie here did a very stalwart job today, and his face, hello, we keep changing sounds and noises, but his face says everything. He's enjoyed it, and it's good that we've got so many youngsters coming through with such enthusiasm. And then we move on to the next cup. We'll keep going pretty quick. It's the Duxmoor Cup, and it goes to Louis Whitewood. So congratulations to Louis. Well done, Louis. Right, continuing on with the sheep, we now go to the Queen Victoria Cup, and it goes to, again, a pair of sheep that did exceptionally well here, and it's Mr. S. Reed and Mrs. J. Shotter, who win with their Dutch Spotted, and what a good win this is. And I'm not sure why they're out there, but they also picked up the Jennings Cup. So congratulations with them. So save our presenters too much walking, we'll give this cup at the same time. Well done, as I say, to all our sheep exhibitors. You don't have to win, it's taking part is the important thing, so thank you very much on behalf of the show for coming, taking part, and we hope we see you all again next year. Right, we've got a lot of cups to get through. We now move on to the first of the cattle, and it's the Colwood Roach Challenge Cup, and it goes to Mick Dennis. So congratulations to Mick, well done. Right, we've now got a Perpetual Challenge Cup which goes to Mr. and Mrs. R. Brown. So okay. But now we move on to the Jill Cawood Cup. Now I'd be delighted to ask Louise Hart to go and present this to Jess Isaacson. So well done, Jess. If you can make yourself known. Well, we've got another now Queen Victoria Challenge Cup, and this time it goes to Matt Legg, and I can normally see him, now I can. Well done, Matt. Right, it's now the AA Westmore Memorial Perpetual Challenge Cup, and if they've got a mantelpiece big enough, I hope they have. And it goes to Mr. S. Reed and Mrs. J. Shotter. So, congratulations to them. Calling David. Right. We now move on to the pigs, and it's David Groves, who is the RIWSAS president, who will present the Supreme Champion pig to Sharon Groves. So well done, Sharon. And it's a few years since I kept pigs, but I believe she's trying to lead in a middle white. Well done, thank you very much. It's 2 years old, and from this angle I can't see if it's a him or a her, but I think it's a him, it's a boar. It's the boar, so I would imagine, being 2 years old, this one will have another couple of years opportunity to show off his prowess in the judging ring. So congratulations to Sharon Groves. And Sharon also won the Supreme Champion, and from that was the Champion Boar, but she also won the Champion Sow. So if you want to follow a herd, it must be Sharon's, because to win all these champions, there must be something good there. That's put the price up £1 or £2, hasn't it? There we are. Right, we've now got the Champion Sow, which Ivan Carter will collect, and congratulations to him. And isn't it nice that we here at the Bath and West, Royal Isle of Wight can have all these different species for you to have a look at on a beautiful sunny afternoon. Well, the last of our Livestock Awards. As I say, this is live entertainment, ladies and gentlemen, so you occasionally get a few hiccups. But we've got a Poultry Award, and oh, that's it then, is it?
Yeah. I'll give him a hand on the way back.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the livestock section. I'm now going to pass over to Rosemary, who's going to give you the awards for the equine section. And thank you very much, all of you, for just standing around the ring and supporting this grand parade. Over to Rosemary.
Championship for the whole 2 days goes to Hiscox Hill Authoress, the Forest Pony, who's owned by Julia Barrett. And the reserve goes to Lallogarth Robron, a Highland pony, owned by Jodie Reed.
Oh, well, those cattle first, right? Okay. You're going to round the ring. If I've heard that correctly, that was what I was about to say. Yeah, they're coming straight out. Yeah. And hopefully the best way is to go. Well, no, because the line's fine, because they're coming through the two areas there. It's only forking out.
Okay.
When I say fork.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to talk you into the next presentation while we wait the presentation party walking back. Dogs have always played an important part of farming. They employ a lot of people to breed these dogs. They also been very important in all walks of life, dogs, whether it be for farming or for safety or anything. And isn't it good that this show can also recognise the canines? And I'm giving you the first of the awards this afternoon. This is Kerry, and she's been presented for being the best dog in show, and it's her Rottweiler Laura. And whilst the presentation party are over there, the winner of the scurry this year was Trish Boyle with Secco, in English Spaniel, Springer Spaniel. Second in this competition, although not with us in the ring, is Edith with Baxter, and standing third is Richard with Molly, which is a working Cocker Spaniel. So that's covered the equine and the canine and the livestock. All right, chaps, we're nearly there. Then we'll let you disappear out the heat of the sun. But it is summer. We should be grateful for it, because had it been raining like last week, we would have been very wet. Right, moving on. Well, moving on from the canine, we now go on to the vintage tractors and commercial, and we then go first of all to Alan Randall, and Alan was the proud driver of this Massey Ferguson 35, and as I said to you, probably one of the most popular tractors ever built in Banner Lane in Coventry, so it's very, very British. And if anybody got one, look after it, because boy, they get more expensive every year because of their I think true value of being one of the best tractors ever presented to British agriculture. Having spent many an hour on one of these tractors before the advent of power steering, they used to be very wise to keep your thumbs out of the way. But now moving up to the second of our presentations, and it's to David Milson, and this is a Bradford engine driving a Bradford cake crusher. Well, in fact, they've jumped one. This shows we're live entertainment. They've gone over to this very well preserved Thames Trader milk lorry with the milk churns in the back, and these milk churns now are very much a collector's item. So if you've got any going rusty in your back garden, get them out, polish them up, because they are a very wanted thing. Yeah, Matt must be very proud of this Thames Trader. Well done, Matt, and well looked after, and it's been reconstructed, no doubt, but a lot of TLC gone into bringing it back to condition it is. And as I say, we go to David Milson with his Bradford engine driving a Bamford cake cracker. These were very, very, very widely used by the farmers with livestock, because some way they had to convert what came in from the fields into something that they could feed their cattle. And some of these, as I say, were scrapped willy-nilly, but those again which were preserved, and I appreciate you can't preserve everything, have become very, very valuable and very much sought after, because they do in fact tell the history and the development of a little bit of farming and feeding of animals. And finally, and I will get it right this time, it's Peter Everett with his 1954 Aston Martin DB4. This a four-seater, and as I say, James Bond made the Aston Martin very famous, but this is when British car quality was at its peak, and hand-built, not in a production line, and look at the spoke wheels on it. You know, that would cost an absolute fortune to put spoke wheels on a modern day car. In fact, it wouldn't look right, would it? You've got to have a classic like this to appreciate the beauty, the sleekness of it going through the air. I don't know what the top speed of it would be, but quite considerable, I would imagine. Well, there you are, ladies and gentlemen. I think that almost concludes, unless I'm told otherwise, the Grand Parade from this year. Our sincere thanks to our two presenters of these very prestigious cups. But most of all, I thank you to all of those in the ring, because without you, there would be no show. You've done us proud. I think the show is grown. Yes, give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, because there's a lot of hard work goes on behind the scenes, and it's good that the exhibitors come and the stewards and the organisers of the show meet and put together something that is very, very worthy for you, the public, to watch. And in a moment, what we must conclude is with the Lady Lord Lieutenant of the island to just say a few words, because each year, all of our sections here of the show are judged, and we have a plaque to the section that each year has contributed something that maybe a little bit extra special, or greatly improved upon what it did in the past, or just generally shone. So I'm going to ask Susie Selden to say a few words and announce the winner. Thank you, Susie.
Patrick, thank you very much. Very professional. It's wonderful to see this. I love the mixture of sheep, cattle, pigs, vintage cars, tractors, horses, all in the ring at once. And it's lovely to see so many young handling livestock. Well done. You've done a great job, all of you, even if your livestock have got a bit bored recently. So well done for keeping them all under control. This is the most amazing show, and I would like to thank Graham Biss and all his team of amazing volunteers who make it happen, because it is special. It's special for the Isle of Wight, and it's special for all of us, and it's special for the farming community, because it's our showcase to the rest of the world who very often don't understand what farming is about. So thank you all who have shown animals, because I know it's a lot of effort, and over 2 days in particular it can be very hard. Luckily it hasn't been too hot today, but thank you all for turning out. And I now have one final award to make. Is that right, Graham? So this is for the area of the show that wins the President's Cup. And amazing volunteers run various different areas of the show, which I hope you've all had a chance to go and see. But this year, the President's Cup is going to go to an area which has improved over the last few years, every year adding a few new things. So it gives me great pleasure to award the President's Cup to the Village Green. So thank you very much.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, and now I invite everybody to, in a very orderly manner, if I may ask, leave the ring, and look forward to seeing you all next year. Yes, thank you very much.
I'm going in for speed.
Hold on, Tommy. Owen, it might jump when it goes over.
That one's jumped.
I think we had a pretty good show this year, actually. However, the show is far from over, and the final event in the main arena today and this weekend is the Shetland Grand National in the main ring. I'm sorry. It's the JPR Shetland Racing.
Yeah, she's going back.
So JPR Shetland Racing will be coming in for the final arena event. Just a point, please, we can't have any vehicle movements whilst the show's still open, so you will have to wait, I'm afraid, until we have closed the show and there's not a significant number of people moving around the field.
If they spent the amount they have, I kind of understand. Just move when she moves. No, it's just a little bit of a hammer.
Somebody had the view to move the match in. Made a big difference.
Right, I'll hand you over to JPR Shetland Racing for the rest of the afternoon, if he's not kicking me in the shins for calling him the wrong name.
Thank you very much. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for staying around. Don't go anywhere. We've got the final points of the JPR Shetland Pony Racing here at the Isle of Wight Country Show, and you're in for a real treat. We've got some awesome combinations coming forward for you, 3 races, and as you can see, the first of the races, they're already in the ring and parading, so get ready for this mini steeplechase. Some of the fastest jockeys and ponies in the country here for you today. Number 16, Oldest Croft Capon Tree, Indiana Evans. This is her own pony. Indiana knows how to get this pony motoring along, and will definitely be putting on a good round. These 2 laps of the arena starting in this bottom end, and now fly down over fences 1 and 2. Left hand down past the funfair and heading towards fence 3 where Stuart is. Then it's left hand down, heading towards trickiest fence on the course by the letter B, and that is the completion of one circuit. Past the paddock bend where some of the jockeys are waiting in the wings, and past the members and the VIP area, and past this commentary box with a further circuit to go. So, you guys are here, so you may as well get ready to cheer. The louder you cheer, the faster these ponies will go. The combinations, number 1 is Seagrind Norrie Lily Norman Thorpe. Following this one in the blue and white, we have Tallulah. Tallulah, cracking young jockey aboard Luna Larson. Following this one, Lil Rosendale Edgar, Nikki Marston's Charge. She knows how to win races, and Bella Grant takes the ride aboard this one. The unicorn of the pony, bred in Denmark. Bright, the breeder of this one, and this pony is an absolute rocket. Nixon been running very, very well. SCD takes the ride. She's already had a good spin here this weekend, and finally